They're coming on in.
So you have no
I'd like to welcome everybody to a special edition of HBCU Coaches Corner. My name is Rocky Miller, along with my co-host, Mr. Stephen Campbell, the Rattler himself. This is a very big edition, special edition of HBCU Coaches Corner. We have the current SWAC championship coach just coming from a trip from Colorado. And it was a business trip. I'll say that. And we hadn't had a chance to talk to Coach in the offseason. I think this was a great opportunity for us to bring us on, talk to Coach, and just have a conversation. But before we get started with all that, I got to ask my co-host, Mr. Campbell, how you doing, Coach?
Well, man, listen, I'm doing okay, man. Little social media streets, as you know, I had my 70 days plus of no fan food. It got a little bit rocky because people tried to bring some foolish to us because our Heisman Trophy winning, second in the SWAC, basketball coach Charlie Ward went to the White House, and folks got a little bit nervous about that. And we're trying to be a little bit disrespectful, so we had to get folks right about that. But we're gonna talk about that, maybe on Sipping on Sundays and maybe on Coach's Corner on Saturday. But other than that, man, everything's good. Went on my 10-mile bike ride, and you called me, told me we're gonna have my friend, the Prairie View folks, Coach. We're gonna talk about that. My friend, Coach Jackson, on because even the Prairie View folks, I gotta say this. Do you know the Prairie View folks? Like one guy gave me a award called the Brass Monkey Award because he said I was disrespecting Prairie View. Can you believe that? Me.
Oh man,
a donator of Prairie View, and he wanted to get some clout off of me. But then my friend gonna set him straight when he come on, let him know who his guy is.
Hey, well, with no further ado, I'd like to bring up the first year coach of Prairie View A&M University, none other than Tremaine Jackson.
Man, right? We gotta have sound effects, man. We gotta have that clapping and stuff, man. Like, yeah.
You can't. Hold on, Coach. Hold on. Let me get this thing right. See. You should have told me. I couldn't hear the sound effect.
Yeah, we ain't get no clapping. We ain't heard no music. I know
you right here.
So what happens when you have a special edition? There we go.
My bad. Oh, hey, Coach wasn't coming on till he got the clapping, so I got it now.
Better recognize.
Hey, Coach, I know you in transit, and so I appreciate you accommodating us this Saturday evening, rather. You're coming off of a trip to Colorado.
Yep.
But before we get into that, Coach, I want to ask how you doing, and were you and your program able to turn the page after that wonderful season you guys had last year?
Yeah, man. First of all, thank again, man. Every time I'm on here, I feel like royalty, man. You guys treat me right, treat our program right, most of all. So appreciate you guys having us. We have, man. We tell our guys all the time, just because you were don't mean you will be. And so what last year's team did, that has no bearing on what this team is. And just like when we got here a year ago, it didn't matter what we were only 5-7. That had no bearing on what we were going to do in 25. And so we turned that page real quick, man. Like January 1, we sent out a text message throughout our team, and we go, hey, man, this is a brand new collective. You guys haven't done anything. We got some honors at the basketball game. And if you didn't play last season, if you were new, we made you sit in the stands. You ain't done nothing. And so we move forward really quickly. We don't want our guys to have a problem with complacency. We try to beat that out of the program as soon as we turn the page.
Hey, well, Coach, I'm here in Waco, and the championship game that you guys played in on national television has had, I believe, a profound impact on everybody in our community that's connected to Prairie View. You see Prairie View gear, Prairie View hats, Prairie View, and people want to talk. about Prairie View, Coach. How you guys adjusted to this newfound fame that you guys have in relationship to, you guys did something really big, and it was a game that was heard around the world. And how often are people coming up to you talking about your program?
Yeah, that's happened a lot. And you know what? It's been people that aren't black. For the most part, like my neighbors, man, I live in a cul-de-sac in Hockley, and I didn't know that they knew I was a football coach because it's a really quiet neighborhood. But when we got back, man, my neighbor said, Coach, we had a watch party for the Celebration Bowl. Well, I ain't even know them people. They brought me a Christmas gift, man. So I gotta keep my neighbors in. But here's what I tell Prairie View people: if you like what it's done for you, if you like the product that you saw and you feel more proud when you wear your Prairie View A&M t-shirt, then give something to it. Feed what feeds you. If it's feeding you the right to talk trash, if it's feeding you great pride and you got the best shirt, then feed what's feeding you. Because it's got to be able to sustain, right? We don't want to be known as a one-hit wonder, man, and I'm quite sure we won't be. But their skin in the game is to keep feeding what feeds them, just like these players do it on our end.
Absolutely, Coach. And just so you know, Coach, I believe that you guys surprised and shocked the SWAC last year.
Yeah.
And this year, you guys won't be a surprise to anybody. Everybody will know when y'all come off that hill what's gonna happen. like you said last year, Coach. Yeah. But even with that being said, I'm glad to hear what you said, Coach. What ultimately happened is people think it was an anomaly, Coach. Like people think it was an accident. People think that Prairie View ain't supposed to be in this position. And before, I just want to say, what do you say to those people? Because we got a poll up, Coach. And the poll is, will Prairie View win the SWAC in football in 2026, Coach? And I just want to say, sadly, it's 31% yes and 69% no.
Oh. Well, here's the deal, man. We like being at the back. We like being, 7th, 8th, wherever they picked us before. I don't think, it's funny. When we won the SWAC, now all of a sudden it's a down year in the SWAC. That's happened to me at 3 different places. When we won, all of a sudden it's a down year. You win again, all the conference just not what it used to be and all these things, right? At the end of the day, we told you what was going to happen. So what you should do is go to FanDuel and bet your bottom dollar on the Prairie View A&M Panthers, because we've already told you how this is going to work. Now on our end, what we have to do is make what we said true. And so that's what we're in the process of doing, man. Every year, Rock, every year when they cut the grass in August in the state of Texas, you're going to know that Prairie View A&M is going to be in the championship conversation. As long as Tremaine Jackson and staff sit in this seat, that's going to be the case. And so we're not being boastful. We're not talking big. We're not talking trash. We're just telling you what's going to happen. And I really like, man, our league has gotten so much. We've gotten some new coaches. My boy is Quinn Gray. My boy. My boy, we coached the Legacy Bowl together. Man, I told Quinn Gray, I will see you December the 5th. That is the plan. I told him that we're gonna host it in Prairie View this time though. And then we'll let you get back, because I know what happens when you go out there and play, right? They try to intimidate you on the bus when you go out there. But Marshall Falker's in the league. He's a really good coach, really big name, going to attract some people. Man, we know that the league is steadily growing and getting better. But Prairie View A&M is here to stay, man. And that's just kind of how it is. And I didn't make the rules. I just came into the league and our team made it that way.
Hey, Coach. And I think you said a mouthful in. And so, Coach, a lot of you guys got an opportunity this week to go out and spend some time with the Colorado Buffs and Coach Prime.
Yeah.
I think initially a lot of the narrative was they're going over to Colorado to see how it's done, learn some things, so on and so forth. But when I really thought about the interaction between you guys it really was two guys who were highly successful head coaches, probably just sharing information and sharing processes with each other rather than a mentor-mentee kind of situation. So, Coach, can you just give us an idea of how all of that kind of unfolded, where your program and your coaches would take a trip up there and see what's going on in Colorado?
Yeah, man. You know, Coach Prime called me probably in January, and he was congratulating us on the season. He said, "Man, I saw you on this video, and I wanted to talk to you." And so I got your number and wanted to call and congratulate you. And he said, "Man, if anything I can do for you, just let me know." I said, "Well, Coach, honestly, man, I'd like to come up and kind of see how you guys do some things, not just from a football standpoint, but from a media marketing standpoint, because we're trying to grow our brand at Prairie View A&M in every way that we can." He said, "Man, I tell you what, we'd be honored if you come." So we worked out a date to where we didn't sacrifice our spring with our guys, but were still able to see their spring practice. And we got it all situated in February. And man, we took 13 people. We took our strength coach, our DFO, Ms. Thomas. We took our AD. We took our head trainer, head equipment manager. We took some of the coaches, and we went. And here's what we went for. You're exactly right when you say we went to share ideas, because he had asked me some things that he wanted to collaborate and see how we did some things. And we kind of just swap ideas on the football piece and just on other things. But man, really, I wanted to go because I wanted to know if we were doing some things in a normal way to help our program and to help our players. And then I wanted to know how he attacked the business side of growing the Jackson State program. At the end of the day, and I told him this, and I said this publicly before, when Coach was at Jackson, I was at Colorado Mesa as the head coach. Now I'm in the SWAC and he in Colorado, right? But when I was at Mesa and I used to watch, I felt like the rest of the SWAC did not do a very good job of trying to figure out the business relationships of people that wanted to do business with us that he had uncovered. Because at the end of the day, Deion Sanders don't need the SWAC. Deion Sanders don't need nobody to be Deion Sanders. But I thought he brought some things. He made it fun to go back to black colleges because we weren't getting recruits like we were getting, like he got there, and like a lot of our schools are getting now at the level and the magnitude that we were getting them, right? That we're getting them now. But I wanted to see those business connections. And so he put us onto some things and some partnerships that he had that could help grow our program, which ultimately helps our players. I'm tired of asking for $10 and $20 donations. That's not enough in today's time. We have to be realistic with ourselves as a program. Mr. Campbell and them raised $300,000 in 7 hours. It just was what it was. And Queen and I talked about that. Right now at Prairie View A&M, we don't have that luxury. So how can we grow? How can we get our players to have a great experience with high levels of resources? That's what we went for. And Coach opened up the doors for us, man. And whether it was football, whether it was media, whether it was marketing, whether it was business relationships, man, he shared a lot of things with us that some we were already doing, and we need to continue to grow them, and others we needed to tweak, or we didn't have any idea on that could work on this level. I'll tell you another thing. When you tell somebody somewhere, hey, I want to do this like Colorado, like UCLA, like these people, the first thing that happens with somebody that don't want to do it is they go, oh, they got all these resources. You ain't gonna be able to do it. You trying to be Power 4. Man, we went to Colorado and saw some things that would be at the $5 store. And they just creatively, they put some things together. Everything that looked like it cost 10 grand don't cost 10 grand. There's a lot of things that cost $5, and you just got to put a little elbow grease to it to make it shinier than what it is. And we were able to see that. We were able to see that the signage matters. When you walk in the door, man, you see signage, you see things. It ain't no blank walls. You see a lot of those things. And now our AD was there, so he confirmed it. And then our people were there. So when I came back, when we met this morning in the airport, and I said, hey, these are the top 7 things I want to do, everybody was like, yeah, we can get that done. But had we not taken that trip, we would be guessing, or I like to say lying to ourselves, that we can't afford it simply because somebody at a bigger place is doing it. And so it probably has been the most beneficial trip that I've taken as a staff. We go to conventions, but man, this was beneficial in so many ways, and really just great for the coach that he opened the doors.
You know, I'll let Mr. Campbell get in here, but what I thought, okay, so let me tell you, Coach, I was working, and then somehow I read the post wrong, and I said, and it said Tremaine Jackson headed to Colorado, and I'm like, what the hell? and so I had maybe, you know, one of those clickbaits or something, and so then I had to. I was just about to call Coach Cole and ask him what happened, and then I looked and I saw, oh, okay, that's what we. Now it didn't help, Coach, that you was giving a pregame speech in the middle of their in the middle of their auditorium either. So that kind of shook me, Coach. But it seems to me, Coach, that these networking opportunities are especially important for HBCUs, whether Absolutely. It's Coach Prime or Coach Saban or even somebody close to you, Coach Elko, or somebody like that. Those opportunities benefit your program and your coaches. Why do you think this kind of interaction isn't, if it does happen, why isn't it publicized, and should it happen more in your opinion?
Yeah, it's not publicized because coaches have the biggest egos out there. But yet we're the ones that say be humble, right? Like it's really a bad psychology when you think about it. We don't want people to know that we need help. Man, we need help. I'm always trying to grow. Man, we got so many high schools that come into our place that when I go out and recruit or when they come to campus, man, I'm gonna have them drop their best third down. Give me your best third down pressure. Give me your best third down red zone offensive play. And some of those things we take and use. So I really don't care who we learning from. I just want to learn, right? I just want to grow. And I think that's helped us be successful. But this opportunity, a lot of people won't do that because they, it's a lot of people out there for some reason that don't like Coach or don't like what happened in the school. I don't know what they don't like. Man, for me, when that dude called and invited us, I was going if I had to walk to Colorado because there was something out there that I needed to see or confirm or get my eyes on, and I wanted to see somebody that looked like me do it. And there's a lot of us out there. And the one thing, people can say whatever they want to say about Coach, right? I don't know why you would say anything foul, but here's what I realized. Coach Prime done put a lot of us on. He done put a lot of people that look like me and you, Mr. Campbell. It's a lot of those people that are on in the Power Four, and we don't get those opportunities in coaching a lot. He got 2 black coordinators, man. That don't happen in coaching a lot on that level. And so I wanted to go and I wanted to see, but I think it doesn't happen very much because of egos. I think it should be mandated that we all have to go somewhere. I think it should be. It might not be Colorado, but I think the conference should mandate that we all do professional development, because ultimately, when our teams are better, our conference is better, and it's something that we're not doing. But a lot of people, Rock, won't go because they don't want to face the reality that they're not doing enough, and that's hard. That's hard.
You know, Coach Cole tells me a story where how he benefited for doing a couple fellowships with NFL teams and how it kind of almost transformed his career and created opportunities for him. And I just think that's, again, we all know that HBCUs were built for black people by black people. But I think the game of football, and when you talk about football, there is no color lines that on football. You know what I mean? There are no, when X's and O's, hard work is hard work. And so you can learn from anybody, regardless of their cultural competence or not. you could pick up something from somebody who's just a darn good football coach, regardless if they're familiar with your culture of your program. Because a lot of that stuff on Sunday, Coach, on Saturday afternoon, that don't matter.
No, on that grass, either you can or you cannot. They don't matter. They don't care if you're white, green, or blue. It really don't matter. But and I've done 6 NFL internships. I've put the same thank you out to the teams that have allowed me to come in their building and do internships. But man, when it's us, I'm gonna make sure we do right by us, and that's just how I was raised. But man, it was really beneficial for us to go and visit, and we look forward to being able to stay connected to that program.
Coach, what I'd like to see, and I'm gonna let Cameron, this is my last one. Coach, they almost treated y'all like recruits. Coach, I saw a deal where they went in the stadium and had a big presentation of you and welcoming your coach and your staff. Was that a teaching moment about how they do recruiting? What was that all about, Coach?
Yeah, no, man. I think that was just them happy that we were there. Again, it was like a fellowship, man. It was whatever they respected the fact that we came into the league in year 1 and won the SWAC championship. That he talked about that quite a bit in front of on camera and off camera. That we had a plan. We said what we were going to do, and we got it done from that standpoint. And so I think that was just him being him, man. He don't do nothing slight, in my opinion, from what I saw. And we had some of the best food. I really didn't want to leave. Them jokers gave us a dinner yesterday. I said, dang, I thought I was going to, let me stay for another day. Because they took care of us, man. But we would need to pay that back however we can. And I told him that, man, whatever you need from us, please don't hesitate to call down here and let us help, because we want to make sure we live up to our end of the bargain.
Is it legal for y'all to collaborate on some camping and stuff like that?
No, it is legal. A couple of years ago, he did a camp at Prairie View A&M. And it was a really big camp. And so we're looking at some things right now on how to get that back going. I do believe they're going to be at our camp this year. And so it's some of those things, and we're going to go to theirs because he's going to get a draw from across the nation as well, and they can't take everybody. And so I do think there's ways for us to collaborate on that and a lot of other things.
Go ahead, Mr. Campbell.
Coach, you said something important about collaboration, and I'm going to take this back historically, because when I saw this, and I'm going to tease Rocky, this is a joke. Rocky was excited. Coach Jackson going to see Prime. I said, no, Prime is coming to have Coach Jackson teach us some things. Because, Coach, historically, this is nothing new. And what I mean by that, Bear Bryant and Woody Hayes, you know who they went to see? Jay Gaither.
Mm-hmm.
Those plays that they start running that wishbone and things like that, got that from Jay Gaither.
Yep.
So when I sit back and see a HBCU coach going to a Power 4 or the PWI, man, we've been teaching these folks for a long time. What I like about the fact is that you were able to, and this is what I always have given Deion credit about this. These are things and opportunities that only he can do, because he's one of the few that can do it.
Mm-hmm.
So what should you do? Absolutely. And my thing is like this, Coach. You have coached a long time. You have coached on the championship level. You have won championships. And the one thing that I hope that Coach Prime, while you say, what they do, and then Coach, I'll agree with you. One thing about effort is free. That don't cost no money for you to put some effort into, as they say, wash your car, clean your room, have clean clothes. That's just effort. So those things that I know he's always prided himself, I like that you observed that, and I'm pretty sure. But the thing that I thought was most important is the mentality that you have brought every stop that you have made, because we learned a lot about you through Coach Cole, but I learned a lot about you when your name started getting on the radar at Valdosta State. Mm-hmm. And I know people I'm here in Georgia, and the things and the way you did things were things that when I said, and Coach, the first thing I've always said, if I want somebody to go play, my son, I want to play for this guy, because you're not just coaching, you're teaching. Yep. And that's what I think we've lost a lot of, is that, Coach, you talked about this. It's about teaching the game. It's about fundamentals. So while your team, as you said, you brought in all these new guys, and teams that you might have played might have had more talent, but what happened is you start seeing the teaching and the consistency and things like that. So with that being said, I want to say I appreciate you. But Coach, what I did want to ask is, what were some of the things, that you could share with us that Coach Prime asked you to say, hey, Coach, you know what? I'm here because it's a battle up there in Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm saying this as facts, not as a diss. He hasn't won a conference yet. He's, trying to get, and I'm glad that he's got 2 black coordinators. Now, people thought you were coming up there to replace Warren Sapp. I told them that wasn't happening. What were some of the things that, because you have been a person to be able to flip programs. Was he able to say, hey, looking at what we're doing and things and the X's and O's, what do you think I could do better? Any of those type of things, conversations you guys had?
Yeah, we had a lot of those conversations with the staff just about, how do you put together a team that's a new team every year, which is something that we have a lot of experience doing. And as I shared with them, at Valdosta State, that was normal. And it was normal for him at Jackson to have a lot of guys, right? But in today's age, when the money is what the money is, how do you keep teams together? How do you keep the program above all things, right? And so we were able to sit there and talk and share ideas, not just with him, but with others on the staff. Coach got a lot of help out there, man. He got an assistant to the head coach. He got all these operation people. And so we were really able to, all these recruiting people, we were really able to share that with them as well as him on how we build programs. And even though that we know we're going to lose 40, 50 guys at the end of every year, how do we reset and start over and still make a run? If you look at our year last year, I don't feel like that we were the most talented team. Man, we went into some games going, well, we better play well today. But I felt like we were the most together team. And I felt like we out-programmed and out-cultured some people that might have been more talented than us. Well, if you look all the way back at our time at Colorado Mesa, man, we beat the number 3 team in the country in Mines, and all we did was out-program them. And we say fully funded versus fully cultured. Like, we've always been on the under. And so you do that by things that you do in your program. February is the month for us. In February, that's where we become us. And so leading into spring ball, what are those things that we do? We were able to share that. We were able to pick up a few things that might help us on a different level, in some of the things that they're doing. But yeah, we did. We had that conversation quite a bit. A lot of back and forth. Some of their support staff people asked Miss Thomas, who is our football ops, man, when y'all go to that hotel, what happens? And what we realize is we're aligned quite a bit on some things that they do. And we just, the days we practice on the same days. Some people practice on Mondays. We don't. We kind of got into that schedule. What do you practice on Sunday or not? What do you do after the game that next morning? How do you evaluate? Do you bring the players in? So we were able to get down to the detail of it. We probably spent a total of 60, 65 hours there, all said and done, right? But man, we were able to get into it on a lot of those little things.
Hey, Coach, what overall, just in your evaluation of the Colorado program, and looking at how they use the portal and how they have used the portal, compare that to how you used the portal in your first year here at Prairie View. And is there some synergy or is there some alignment there of how you guys use the portal?
Yeah, for us, looking at the way that they do it, they're able to get the kid from Texas and Texas is just his first school, right? We're normally school number 3, maybe even 4 sometimes. And so we deal with guys that went and got paid a couple of times, and now they own us, right? They're able to get the guy right after he got paid the first time because they have the resources to participate. And so, but when you look at body types, we align on body types and what things should look like positionally, how they need to look. Coach ain't letting no DB come in there without him spying him down, right? Well, I feel the same way because I feel like we have to be really good at corner, on the D-line, O-line, and at quarterback. And so those 4 positions, I don't let come in our building without me knowing and having all the research. So when we really sat down and thought about it, and I go back to his Jackson State time, right? the way he built it at Jackson State, not just getting Travis and having Shador, those guys were coming because of him. But I'm talking about the average player that plays in our league, right? What are those body types? What are those? And we saw a lot of those guys that he brought that we played against in the championship game. And we sat on tape and went in recruiting and went, this has to match. We need this length. I didn't feel like we were long enough as a team last year. I didn't feel like we were big enough. And so when I looked at his recruiting philosophy and strategy on body types, we aligned, and now we're able to get those body types. But coming off a 5 and 7 season, Rock, Mr. Campbell, those body types wasn't coming, and it just was what it was. And so, yeah, we're pretty lined up on the recruiting.
Now, also,
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead, finish your follow. Go ahead.
No, one of the more remarkable things about you guys, you using the transfer portal, is how much better you were at the end of the season than you were at the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
Is that something you build into your recruiting and your program? And did you guys talk about that? Because they almost experienced a situation where they've been really good early and kind of tail off. Yeah. You guys kind of struggled early and got way better at the end. Did you guys talk about some of that? Because I thought that was some of the difference in your program.
We didn't, Rock. We didn't touch on that, but I'm glad you said that, because I believe that if you don't have your team in the spring, you're going to struggle early because those guys are still getting used to one another. There's no spring ball in the summer. There's no practicing in the summer, right? It's all in shorts and T-shirts. So all you have is fall camp and the month of September to get yourself ready for a long season, right? And so when you do it that way, you have to schedule the right way. Well, we don't have the luxury to schedule the right way. We open up with Arrival, or we did. We opened up with Arrival. We got Grambling in September. We don't have that luxury. When I was at Valdosta State, we used to schedule the lighter D2s in September so we can make a run in October and November, right? Because they remember December. That's what we used to tell our guys. And so for us, you saw us get better as time went on because that team didn't assemble till May 31st last year. And so fall camp was the first time they actually hit each other. And then the beginning of the season, and we were able to win by 1 against TSU. But man, we made so many mistakes that a new team makes to where they were able to stay in the game. And I give them credit. They were really talented. They had a really good football team last year. But we were able to win some close ones, right? Our hope by bringing in the 68 guys that we brought in January is to now we've got a spring team, a summer team, a fall camp team, and the team, right? And so hopefully all that time together pays off and helps us play better, faster. But I think we're built to always play our best ball in October, November, just by how we train.
Coach, I wanted to go back to something that you said, which I think is important. It's going to tie into something. I'm going to have a joke with you later before you get off. Did you not say, you said Coach Prime, because you didn't know him like formally, like you guys talk on the phone and things like that. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, so he saw a video of you. Is that what you said? That he saw a video and that's how you guys got in contact? Coach, I want to talk about that. Because when you first came on and, we were excited about you getting the job, but you talked about how hard it was to knock on doors in the state of Texas because of perception of what Prairie View was, rightly or wrongly. But how much have you, being this social media star and your personality, because the social media is forget the video, it's your person. I've been around you. And man, you just one of them guys. You one of those guys. How much has that been to your benefit to actually recruit and open doors in the state of Texas and in the transfer portal? And now as you're moving to the corporate side of maybe getting sponsors, how much has that really worked for you?
Yeah, I think it's always kind of been a niche for us, right? Everywhere we've been. You look at places we've taken over, Mr. Campbell, they don't have many followers when we get there, and when we leave, they got all the followers. And I think that's because we give people a real glimpse on who we really are. It's not a phony deal. You get exactly what you gonna get with me and with our staff and with everybody, I think it's helped us a lot. I'll tell you where it's really helped me, Mr. Campbell. I ain't paid for a meal in Houston yet.
Come on, man.
I ain't paid like, man, people be like, hey man, that's Coach Jack, man. Hey, Coach, you good in here. I done had
I
more.
gotta ask you a question. As the white folks get feeding you too now, because I see the neighbors.
Everybody.
It's coming up to the Caucasians too.
But everybody. I don't get no love in Cyprus, but in downtown Houston, I'm good. I'm gonna stop through downtown Houston on the way home tonight just to see if I can come up on some chicken wings or something. It's been a really good deal. But like Rock said earlier, a lot of it is people that are Prairie View A&M people excited about what they're able to do in talking to their friends and wearing their shirts proud. And they thank me. And I go, y'all don't need to thank me. Y'all need to thank them players and thank this coaching staff that was able to come in, buy into a vision, and get something done that hadn't been done in 16 years.
Hey, Coach, you and I are both Texans, right? And so being very honest, you know what the Prairie View ranking was among football schools in Texas, right?
Mm-hmm.
In 1 year, what kind of headway have you made to improve their status among coaches, players? You know, have you guys made some headway in that regard? And how much did winning the SWAC help that?
Yeah, I think we get respect now. We get respect for a couple of reasons. People always have to respect the winner. And when you win in the fashion that we won, when we said we were going to do something, we did it. Most people just be talking. And so I think people respect that. I think people respect the fact that I'm from Houston and you're not going to bully me. And people in Houston, high school coaches, people around football, they try to bully you on this ball now. Like, hey, you going to take my kid, you going to do this. You can't bully us because I tell them all the time, I'm one of you. But I also think we're respected because we tell people the absolute truth, whether they like it or not. And when you combine those things, when we recruit kids, they go, Coach, hey, just tell me the truth. And that's how we know we're going to get them, because a lot of them don't get told the truth in recruiting. They've been lied to so much until I call it PTSD. They have recruiting PTSD. They've just been lied to in so many circles and told that they're going to get this and don't get that. Even with this money thing. Hey, man, we're going to pay you this. But that ain't what the paperwork say. And so I think it's a breath of fresh air for people to hear the truth, for people to see people do what they say they're going to do, which is not common in our society anymore. And then to do it, man, I'm from Acres Homes. Like it is what it is, bro. I'm from the north side of Houston. And so to be able to see somebody from the hometown, be influential, man, with good players, good coaches, good administration, I think people are appreciative of that.
Coach, you're in your second year at Prairie View, and I think one of the things, and we definitely gonna go, Coach. Before we get on, we gonna get on the Prairie View people, because it's one thing to cheer and things like that, but Coach, as you said, you got to make that change rather to do some big things. But what are some of the things that you're most proud of improvement that you say the collective as a whole, the community, the school, from when you got there to now? You say, you know what? We've gotten this to a standard. Now we're going to move it to the next standard. Because I think it's really important, because one of the discussions has always been your Prairie View's in Texas. They have great education. The campus is beautiful. But it was always the thing on the sports side historically that, like you said, held it back. But what have you seen that you're most proud of, that just, you know what, we can take pride that, you know what, we were at zero, and again, as a marker, but now we're at 100. You know what I mean? We started here, but now we're here.
I think the thing I'm most proud of is that now people associated with our university have a belief that they are who we say we are. And I'm talking about as a university. Prairie View A&M is an elite university. And you said in my first interview with y'all, Mr. Campbell, you said, man, if Prairie View A&M ever get it right, they're going to be hell to deal with, right? And so I took that as you said that, and I wanted to make sure we did our part to make sure we got it right. And now there's a belief that when the grass is cut in August, Prairie View A&M football is going to be in a championship conversation, and not just amongst the SWAC, but amongst the state of Texas. And I think you see it in our scheduling. there's people excited about us going to Tarleton State. When it used to be one of those deals to where they're going to go play Tarleton. Let's see them when they play TSU. We're going to go play another TSU first. And they top 5 in the country. And there's an expectation that we be successful. And so that wasn't here when we got here. It was, let's just do well in the SWAC, make sure we beat Grambling and TSU. And if we get anything else, we get it, hoorah. Well, now there's an expectation that we finish this fight, man. So I think we've truly moved the program from water to wine. And that's what we intended to do. And now we got to make sure we're the best wine year in and year out.
Come on, Coach. I love it, Coach, because the thing, well, again, you know, I was super excited when you got hired. And for me, like I say, Coach, we talked about this. I came from SWAC when it was gold age of just great coaches. And when you saw those coaching battles and things like that, you know, and I want to make a couple of points here. When that championship game came, it was you and TC Taylor. I knew that was going to be great coaching and high level of play. That was high level play. Well, don't matter. I don't want to hear if you like Texas or Ole Miss or Miami. If you like football, you love that game. You moved over to the Celebration Bowl, Chinnisberry and you. High level where, you know, and again, it always tickles me. We always use, and again, not being funny, certain things as validators. Guess what? They had a crowd of people that didn't look like us that were watching. You know why they were watching? you know what I'm talking about, Coach?
Yeah, I do.
But the people were calling people, hey, you know what, on TV, are you watching these guys? And Coach, it wasn't sloppy play. It was great football. And that's the thing what I'm most excited about when you join the SWAC is because when you have great football, TC Taylor, you, Mickey Joseph come, Eddie Robb, you know what I'm saying? We hope Marshall Falk gets there. We know what Quinn Gray has done. You know what I mean? Sam Shade, Woody, all these guys that are coming in that, again, have a level and have won somewhere, you know, be it Marshall Falk, who has won a Super Bowl, and he says, I know what it looks like for Southern, or you who has coached it, or Quinn Gray, who has coached it, or TC Taylor, who has actually won it. So for me, I like the fact that when I come on the TV, because, Coach, you notice when it was Grambling Jackson State, they didn't say Grambling, they said Eddie Robinson and W.C. Gordon.
Yeah.
Then they said Jackson State and Grambling because of the magnitude. And I think what we're getting to now, and I like what people, because of your social media, people, know that you are a great coach, that Prairie View is, like you say, is a program now that, wait a minute, we got to take them for real. I want to watch them play. And last but not least, for somebody that, again, is a Jack State fan and a Florida A&M fan and Grambling, people know my association with Grambling, I can't wait to see you play them. That's what I'm talking about. Because when we saw Nick Saban and Urban Meyer go against good people, we want to see those battles. So I like the fact that you understand that and what's going on. Now, Coach, I want to pivot with your coaching. I've seen your coaches now getting out there and things like that. Have you added new guys to your coaching staff and some of the guys that you kind of want to highlight and talk about who you've added?
Yeah, man. You know, my receiver coach, when you win, people get opportunities, right? And so we had a lot of people on our staff get opportunities, but we had 2 guys that I thought it was too good for them to pass up. Our receiver coach, Jacoby Walker, he went to Missouri State. Jacoby was from Houston, but he was the OC at SOC. And so he had formed a relationship with the OC at the SMU, who ultimately got the Missouri State job. And I just told him, I said, man, I don't want to lose him, but it's too good of an opportunity. I had lived in Springfield, Missouri. And I told Jacoby, it's something you got to go do, man. That's a brand new FBS program. They're thriving. And then recently we lost my O-line coach, Bryce Carlson. He went back to Valdosta State as the offensive coordinator. And now I had to kick Bryce out. He didn't want to go. But here's what I believe. Valdosta State has had 3 offensive coordinators in the history of the school on paper. All of them are associated with myself. Because when I got to Valdosta State, I was the first head coach that didn't call the offense. And all before then, they had hired offensive head coaches.
Right.
And so we had to create an offensive coordinator position when I got to Valdosta State. And I've been able to be a part of all 3 of those guys' lives. Bryce being an O-line coach. You don't see very many O-line coaches get offensive coordinator jobs. And at a place like that, with the history and tradition of the air raid, I felt like he had to go for his career. And so we got those 2 guys. They left. I moved Coach Colbert, Darryl Colbert. I moved him over to receivers. He was actually Coach Cole's receiver in college. Coach Colbert was already on offense with us, But I just believe that man, anytime you got a guy that played in the league at receiver, those kids respect that, and he does a phenomenal job with our players. And so that was easy for me. And then I went and hired a guy named Manny Martinez from A&M Kingsville to come coach our offensive line. Manny's a really great coach. We worked together under Coach Cole in 2010 and 2009, 2010. And so he and I was the D-line coach, he was the O-line coach. We always went to a certain spot for lunch, a Chinese restaurant. And so every Christmas when I left the state, every Christmas when I come home, we still go to that Chinese restaurant. And so we had just went in December after the Celebration Bowl, and I was able to get him on our staff, man. And it's just been phenomenal to see guys' careers grow, but then also incorporate new ideas with nobody being fired. This ain't like, no, man, we were bad at this, so I moved on. It was guys growing and then guys coming in and being able to implement new ideas and new roles. We've also hired an assistant general manager, which is a female that her name will be released. She's come from the University of Arkansas, Shay Taylor. She's going to be the assistant GM. I think she'll be the second assistant GM female in the country. The first one is at Oregon. So we're moving. We're still growing our staff and being able to do some things to ultimately get better.
Hey, Coach, I want to ask you this, Coach, because the most impressive thing I saw while I was in Atlanta, Coach, was this. After a really tough loss, I had, as you well know, I was down there outside the locker room watching you guys come in as a tough loss. There were no guys throwing helmets. There were no guys, cursing at each other. It was really y'all just loving on each other, hugging on each other. And y'all were still together in that really tough moment.
Yep.
How do you build that kind of camaraderie in a team that was only together for 1 year? Like that was really, I wanted to ask you right after the game, but I know you had a lot on your mind, but that was so impressive to me that the guys were just so locked in with each other and they were so supportive in that very tough time. How do you find guys like that, Coach?
Man, I appreciate you asking that because I think it's one of the things that we don't get a chance to talk about very much. We talk about having great connection with one another here and being connected and with more fibers than just football, but really learning to love one another on a level that is okay for men to truly put their arm around another man and love on them, right? And we try to do a good job of that as coaches, which is why we're able to coach them as hard as we coach them and they not take it personal. And I think a lot of people miss that boat, but I tell them it's our job as coaches to love you, but man, it's your job to love one another. The way we spell love is Time. Man, it takes a lot of time. You gotta spend a lot of time with guys. And so we always say we're pledging Panther because those guys gotta go through something together and see each other struggle, and then they'll help each other. It's amazing, man. When you're going through something and somebody sees something on your face, they don't really have to know you to go, hey, man, you okay? That's a natural human tendency. And we've lost it in society. We try not to lose that in the program. We try to make sure we check on one another. Man, you're seeing people commit suicide and things of that nature. People are dealing with great things, man. And so we want to make sure we stay connected on such a level to where we know when something's going on with them. And by us staying connected, when we're not successful, we just stay together. When we're down and out and it's 6 on the clock, man, we just stay together. We ain't got time, and you're not always gonna be successful. We have to teach them that. And nobody, Rocky, was hurt more than me. I I said, man, I done played for the PWI National Championship and the Black Folks National Championship and then lost both of them. What am I doing wrong? But those guys came and grabbed me and told me how appreciative they were that we gave them an opportunity in the program. Well, ultimately, man, that's what we do it for. That's what we do it for. And so what's really been amazing is that collection of seniors last year, they come back now and they tell the guys to finish the fight. Hey, man, finish this fight. And I told that team before we went to Atlanta, you're going to be in the Hall of Fame. You win the national championship, they're going to build a statue of all of y'all. And they're going to have to try to figure out where that's going to be at. Well, now this team is chasing the statue. We know. A lot of those guys, man, we know. I'm waiting on however many years because I can't wait to see those guys come back and accept their Hall of Fame induction. And if my guys don't get in the Hall of Fame quick, I'm going to tear everything up because they sacrifice so much to help put our institution in a place of recognition. Until, man, we'll never forget that. So that team laid a great foundation. This team, I believe, is going to put us over the top because they understand what it looks like. And I'll share this with y'all. Man, we ain't had no issues. We ain't had no issues, no late, we ain't had no issues with this team. And I don't know if that's going to equal one win or one touchdown, but that's different than last spring because the players have grabbed the bull by the horns and they know what it looks like and they believe. And so, man, we're excited about this group because, I'm not just talking, man. We're going to finish this fight. This fight going to get finished, and then, I'm going to let Quinn have it a couple of years later, Mr. Campbell. But right now, we got to go and finish this one.
No, listen. Let me tell you something. And I'm going to say this. I don't want you to let us have nothing. I want, like I said, I want you guys, the Quinn Grays, the TC Taylors, the Eddie Ramos, and you. I want to be in there, and all I care about is great black coaches elevating this game back the way when we grew up. You know what I'm saying? And
I believe you're going to get that. I believe you're going to get that.
That's my bigger thing, because if we get that, then we will get all the things that we want for us, the kids with NIL, rev share, all raising money and things like, because it's much easier to raise money when people, because even with the television, if our level of game, because I was there when Jerry Rice and Alcorn played in that, and it was 63,000, and they said, we're going to put this on TV. Yeah. I've seen that. So that's what I want to get to. But Coach, I wanted to ask you, as you turn the chapter, you had your DOG mantra. Now, is that something that you say that was for this team? We're going to create or that's something that's going to be always consistent on the back of your jacket?
Yep.
And also, that's great. Are you gonna have a new song for your boys this year? Or we gonna take the same song?
No, we're gonna ride with it. It was so popular, man. We're gonna ride with the same song. But the discipline, obedience, and grit, that's just what it takes to be one of us. And so that will always be a part of our program. It'll always be on the back of my shirt and on the players' shirts. And because when you turn that discipline, obedience, and grit, the dog, and you turn it around, it's still about the good Lord now. Like, it's about God, and we keep him in the center of it all. So we'll never change that. But we changed the theme. Last year was water to wine. This year's finish the fight. And so we do that every January 1, man. I wake up, send out a text to the staff and go, all right, man, this is the thing we rocking with. And so our guys are really taking that on, and we've got shirts for them. And but they know, man, to be one of us, it's about being disciplined, obedient, and having a lot of grit.
Hey, Coach, last year a coach gave you some really candid advice about why you shouldn't call your players dogs, right? Mm-hmm. It looks like you hadn't taken that advice.
Yeah.
Did you even consider changing it when he gave you that really candid advice?
No, because what God gives me, he gave me. Just because he didn't give it to you, that's your fault. That's between you and God. He gave that happened in COVID. And so, man, I don't listen to people that have no outcome on our program, right? Like, people just say things when people don't understand things, when it doesn't make sense to them because they really have no knowledge of what you're doing, they just say anything. And so we kind of laugh at the crowd, man. We don't deal in that. When people start talking crazy, let's talk about this ball. Talk to me about some ball. Don't talk to me about what our players are being called. Our players have had a 3.0 GPA since we've been here. Our players have won a championship. Our players have led the school and community service. Our players are graduating at a high level. So until you play in December, don't talk to me about what to call our players.
Hey, Coach. Hey, I mentioned earlier, Coach, that when I had this poll, it was 70% no that you guys wouldn't repeat, and 29%. Yes, I can say, Coach, you done convinced a lot of people as our crowd has grown to over 300 people watching, Coach.
Yeah.
Now we're up to 63% yes that y'all gonna repeat.
Well, see,
and
let's keep it a buck.
37%.
That's that PV12 that I rolled in. See, it was
They
just
only get
one.
one
So now
vote.
11, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 that came in there, and they not
Hey.
exactly the poll. That's what
Hey, them my people now. Them my
listen,
people. Them my people. Them my people. I'm gonna tell you something about our fans. Our fans that have podcasts and things of that nature, they've done a phenomenal job of extending our messaging. If they hear us say something, they take it and run with it. And what that's done is it's helped us in recruiting. It might make other fans mad, but the mom and dads that listen, when we go to recruit their sons, they know a lot of what we gonna already say because of our PV people, right? And again, those people are proud. Prairie View A&M is known for more losing in football than it is winning.
wait a minute, Coach. Wait, Coach. Hold on. Wait a minute. Let me jump in here.
Okay.
I want you to say that because after you finish your statement, I want to tie that in. Say that one more time.
Yeah, Prairie View A&M is known for more losing. I'm just speaking. I'm not talking about Coach Nix. I'm talking about in my lifetime. I'm 42 years old. In my lifetime, Prairie View A&M is known for more losing in football than it is winning. And a lot of people try to hold us hostage to the time when the 90s, right?
Right.
And so that's just kind of what it's been.
So, Coach, the reason why I say that now, Coach, you know me and you. When you first came on, I say, hey, man, listen, let's get this man some money. Let's get this thing going. So, Coach, you do have some podcasters out there that's supporting your program, right?
Oh.
And there's this young brother. He say he around my age close, but he ain't. But, said Bass. He's down, good brother. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So, Coach Rocky and I were on with Coach Quinn Gray, right? And I was talking about how you were building a foundation with Prairie View and how it's going to move forward. And then if you leave or whatever, the next coach will be able to build off of that. And I said, again, about you, but where Prairie View was, and I'm talking about perception of being a little bit above certain schools. I'm not going to name no schools because no disrespect. You know, he gave me an award because he gave me the Brass Monkey Award. He said, Mr. Campbell don't know what he's talking about. And my point, Coach, is what you just said. It is not about what Prairie View is, because we know Prairie View has greatness. It's about what the perception was. And I wanted you to say it because that's what I was talking about. Not taking lightly of what Prairie View University is, Prairie View A&M University is, and what you're trying to build it. Because, Coach, I'm going to tell you something. As somebody that's, like you said, I've been around SWAC a long time. And I can say, I know Prairie View's history, the good and the bad. What I like about is that you're forging a new history. That people, like you saying, ain't nobody sitting back there and saying, oh, Prairie View need going to be our homecoming. We just going to put 40 on. When they see y'all on the schedule, they know that's a football game now.
Right. And I'll tell you this, Mr. Kemp, like Willie Simmons did a phenomenal job here. Coach Frazier, obviously, he won a SWAC championship. He did a phenomenal job here. But people, especially in my age group, they don't remember that. They don't know that Coach Nix is in the College Football Hall of Fame. They don't know who Billy Nix is. It's kind of like some of our players, man. Some of these guys that's getting these jobs that are pro players, a lot of our players don't know who they are. And it's no disrespect. It's just that they're not playing while our guys are watching football, right? And so that's the same thing with our fan base or with the average person in Houston. If you were in Houston in the 90s, all you heard was how bad of a football program Prairie View A&M was. The reason why I know that is because when Prairie View A&M came to recruit me in 2001, I wasn't going. Because
see, Coach, I wanted people to understand, because see, Coach, what people like to do on these subjects, they like to do clickbait, you know what I mean? And they like to clip stuff and not put nuance to what you just said. You didn't say anything about how bad the school was or whatever, but it was where it was at that time.
At that time.
You understood it to be.
I wasn't going. And they came to the school, I wasn't going. And it's always been a great school. But when it came down to what it was I was doing, I didn't want to do that at that time. And so I took the job because I knew the potential of Prairie View A&M as a school, but also we had grown and had years of data of being better. Starting with Coach Frazier, Willie came here, won 9 games. Coach Dooley took us won the SWAC West. Bubba won the SWAC West. And so I knew that we just needed a little refining to get over the top. But In 2001, when I was a player coming out of Waltrip High School, I wasn't going to Prairie View. I wasn't going to TSU neither until I transferred. You know, it was just kind of one of those things. That wasn't the first place on my mind. And it's just because of where you are when you're a player and the perception of what's going on. Just like last year, it was hard for me to get into some high schools and recruit. It was hard for me to attract Houston guys that would transfer. So we might not have got the best of them. They went to Lamar, they went to Sam Houston, they went wherever. Now, it's a trophy sitting in there. And so players especially, they automatically assume because you were, you will be. So they're like, I'm just gonna go in there and jump on this championship team. We had to tell them that ain't the case. But now they see the potential that if we work hard, if we grow as a collective, we love one another, we can be a championship team again. They see that, and that's a better chance than, man, y'all don't win 0-80. I ain't. And so I know those guys are they're sensitive about that, but I have to face the reality of the situation. And the reality of the situation is Prairie View A&M football has been known for more losing than it was winning. And we're trying to make sure that narrative not only changes in people's perception, but it changes forever, because Prairie View is too good of a place for it not to have an awesome football program and awesome athletic program in general. Because of what we have. We have the most beautiful campus in the state. It ain't far. It ain't hard.
Hey, Coach, and y'all have some beautiful people on campus as well. And so,
if you're a male and you don't come to Prairie View A&M, you sick. You sick.
Coach, Coach, I want to ask you this here, Coach. You came here last year and you said, "Hey, I don't want to be a good black school in football. I want to be an elite FCS school."
Mm-hmm.
And this year, it seems like you put the SWAC on your back and taking them places this year that it seemed other schools are not going nowhere near. What was your idea when you built this schedule? Because, Coach, there are other people that are just not taking those chances, those challenges, those opportunities to put the SWAC on the map. What made you decide to do it, Coach, when others aren't?
Honestly, Rock, man, I wasn't trying to put the SWAC on the map. I was trying to get my team together, right? Like, I don't know where other people have coached, right? I just know where I've coached. I've coached on the other side of the tracks, and I've watched HBCUs on film. And I've said, oh man, we played them, we get on them quick. Like, I'm just being honest with you. I came to a HBCU because I believe that we should be able to compete everywhere. So what people do on their schedules, they do on their schedules. Let's get one thing straight about scheduling. If Prairie View A&M football loses a game, at the end of the day, it only affects one guy, and that's me. Affects my overall head coaching record. You go to the NCAA website, you look in the top right-hand corner, it's just got my name. It don't have Prairie View A&M name up there. It just got my name. And so for us to schedule top 5, top 10 teams, that's what we want to be. I don't know when the last time Prairie View A&M was ranked in the FCS top 25, but it won't be long now. It won't. We right there, because I don't want to be the best in the SWAC. That's part of it. I want to be an FCS power that happens to be a black college with an experience that nobody can match that's in that top 25. That's what I want to be. And that makes us credible to all colors and creeds. And that's why we came here. I ain't come here to win a few classic games, man. That's not my aim. My aim is to be the best in the FCS. And if there should come a day to where we skip the SWAC championship and skip the Celebration Bowl and go to the FCS playoffs, we should win in the FCS playoffs, because we've won in the NCAA playoffs before. And we know what that looks like. You get 12 footballs when you play in the NCAA playoffs. They give you 12 brand new footballs. They give you a few backpacks. I want the backpacks, because that's what's respected. And so I want to always make sure our program is respected at a high level amongst everybody. Just like the people of another color watched the Celebration Bowl and had them gifts ready for us when we got back. I want that. I don't just want that in December at the Celebration Bowl. I want it to be universal. And so we're going to always schedule the best that there is. We're lucky in the state of Texas because we do have the Stephen F's, the Tarleton States. We have those people within distance of us driving. And so when they called and asked to play, we certainly was going to play. We wasn't going to say no. We certainly was going to play. So worst case scenario, here's what it does. Man, we just played 2 top 10 teams. We should be ready to go come conference. But we expect to fully win. I don't want you to get off this deal today, Rock, without it being known. We expect to win, Mr. Campbell.
Listen,
that ain't no, oh, let's just go out here and see what we got. No, we expect to win.
I'll be in Stephenville, Coach. I guarantee you that. And guess what? I'll be right here in Waco on the 12th as well. So
we expect to win that too.
Hey, Coach, you're going to have a shot, I believe.
Yeah, we expect to win that too.
You're going to have a shot, man. Coach, go ahead, Mr. Campbell.
Coach, you know what? You said something that triggered something that I want to talk about, and we didn't get it. We just kind of brushed over it. I think this is very important. You were able to coach in the HBCU Legacy Bowl. Mm-hmm. You, Chinsbury, Coach Parker, Quinn Gray. And Doug Williams said this was the best Legacy Bowl far as the kids putting out effort, the way the game was played, which goes back to my favorite coaches. 3 of them were coaching in that game. How great was that? And what did you tell those guys? Many of them potentially, that might have been their last football game, but again, putting them in a position to potentially play professionally. What was that week like? What was that week like being around all the great coaches that you were around? And I saw all the HBCU coaches that were there. I saw Trey Alva there and the other guys there. And so tell people about that week and how important that Legacy Bowl is for HBCU sports, for the coaches and for the players.
Man, you want to talk about one of the best. I've coached in some all-star games before, but one of the best experiences I've ever had of just great fellowship, getting to know guys that you coached against, man, spending time with Chinisberry and his staff outside of playing against each other, right? Spending time with Maurice Flowers, who I think does a great job at Johnson C. Smith, and then being able to be with my dog, man, my boy Quinn Gray. Listen to me, bro. I heard he said something about me. Man, that dude, I got so much respect for that dude and what he did at Albany State, because you don't understand the rivalry between Valdosta State and Albany State. And for him to beat Valdosta State last year in the playoffs and have home field advantage, be the #1 seed, that is really hard to do in Division II. And so, man, that dude, I think he's the fastest rising offensive quarterback coach that's out there, man, and got so much respect for him. So to spend a week with him and just kind of chop it up, man, was so awesome. But here's what was the best part. Everybody always talks about these players, right? Man, we were able to build relationships with players that we only saw on tape and knew as numbers. Jackson State had a couple of guys there. After we got past the teasing them about where the trophy is now, and they were so great about it, man, we got a chance to really get to know those dudes. And Jeremiah Williams, good dude. Man, this dude is
Coach.
Jeremiah Williams.
Because see, this is what's so important, because you never know who watches this. Scouts, people, we know a lot of people. And I think this is very important for that young man, because you coached him. See, because I will say this. Coach T.C. Taylor's probably, and I know most honest coach, they're always going to be honest, right? Mm-hmm. And they're going to tell the truth. But you, like you say, coach this young man during the week. Say that one more time about Jeremiah Williams.
Man, Jeremiah Williams, good dude. Not only is he a terror on that grass, he a good person. Quincy Ivory, who is from Houston, he's a good person, man. The guys we have from Grambling, the DBs, they're good people. And so to be able to, man, I put my number in the chat and said, bro, if there's anything I can do for y'all, just let me know. Because as a coach, I got an obligation to do that, whether you played for me or not. And so, man, just spending time with those guys, and I've talked to several of them since that game. The offensive lineman number 75 from Alabama State, man, that's a smart dude. Just sitting down, chopping it up, talking about life and finding out where he started. Man, that's a smart dude. Man, and not only is he a smart dude, he's an awesome football player. And so Reed Pulliam, man, that kid from Texas, Killeen, Texas, big linebacker, and you see him on tape making plays, but you don't know his family situation, how great his family is, and those things. So I really enjoyed that part of it, man. Me and Quinn ain't gonna be able to be there again. I told him I was teasing him on that. It's gonna be one or the other, but I'm gonna let him stop on by. Uh, but no, man, that was probably, and then Shaq and Doug. Can't say enough about those two and what they've done for HBCU football, and just us in general, man. And man, it was a phenomenal day. Mickey Joseph ended up coming by to the game. Just being able to talk to guys without the pressures of the season on you.
Right.
And the pressure of, man, I got to compete against you. Man, we just sitting down chopping it up over a meal and sharing ideas, fellowshipping and doing those things. But man, I'm eager to see those kids in this year's class, man, to see who goes where, because I really think there was some really good players there on both sides, and we had probably 26, 28 scouts there every day that we were there. So they definitely got a chance to see those guys in a different light. And man, now if we don't get nobody, I'm act a fool, because there's some really good players on both sides of the field, man. I always want to win every time there's a football on the field. I always want to win. But man, I was so excited just to watch guys play. And who knows if that's their last game or not. But I was excited to watch them play. But I walked away from there, Mr. Campbell, as a nose guard myself. That Jeremiah Williams a bad man.
Well, Coach, I want to say one last thing, and then I'll turn. But this is why I do this show, because what happens is we have so many negative perceptions. Oh, those guys playing the SWAC, they're not this, they're not that, or why they didn't transfer. That's what you heard. Like, why didn't he leave? Why he didn't get in the portal? He could have went here. Some of these guys want to be where they want to be because they're getting great coaching, like yourself and the other coaches that you're talking about. And I'm just glad for you to just shine a light to let know, man, we got some outstanding young men in this conference. Yep. That no matter what they're going to do, be professional, whatever profession, they're going to be all pros, be it football or be it whatever they graduated and go on and move on into the professional ranks, working or creating their own business. But for me, that's just so important because, again, when I was growing up, hey, man, I was around the Jimmy Smiths and all these guys grew up with. I knew these guys, you know what I mean? And I knew what kind of guys, and I saw them go to the NFL, the Steve McNairs and things like that. But those were quality dudes, man, like you say. Those were just quality dudes. Eddie Robinson. You knew Eddie Robinson was going to be somebody because he was somebody at Alabama State. So I'm just glad that you were able to share that because, again, we are so quick to dismiss and I'll say disrespect what we have at this level. And I just want people to know that what you saw, because independently, how great some of those young men are. And like I said, like you say, Jeremiah Williams pulling all those guys. And like I say, the different players that made such tremendous plays. I was like, man, listen, we got some guys that's going to play in the league.
Yeah, man. And, our two guys, Cam Peters and Trevor Randall, you try not to be that coach, right? Just like you try not to be that dad at the practice. But those guys played extremely well. And they played like they played at the end of the season. And, man, it was just exciting to be around them one more time as well, man. And it was a good event. I tell you what, I'd like to see it. And Prime had this idea the other day that he was talking about. I'd like for us to have an all-star team and go compete against one of those Senior Bowl all-star teams and one of those American all-star teams, because it would prove the point of they not just playing against each other, because that's what some people say. They just playing other black college players. There were some guys in that game that could play anywhere in the country on anybody's team. And so one day maybe that'll happen, but I thought that was a good idea too, because I was that impressed with the selection in that game. And I thought there was still some other guys that could have been in the game had it been a numbers deal, had the numbers worked out, that, just from coaching against.
That coach, I love that idea. And maybe to the point, as they say, a high tide raises all boats, maybe because we have our HBCU conference, maybe we go and say the Southland or the Mountain West or whoever, you know what I'm saying, and put their all-star team together and things like that, bringing more eyes to the guys and things like that. I love it, Coach. And again, I will put our players against anybody, especially on our level of football.
Hey, Coach, we're gonna let you get out of here, man. And you have blessed us with over an hour and 15 minutes, man. And I want to thank you for coming on.
All right, no problem.
Coach, I can't leave without you giving some guys some advice that may want to get into coaching out there, because I never forget Coach Cole loves telling that story how you walked into his office looking for a coaching job, and you were able to convince him that you were the guy to assist him on his journey, eventually winning the SWAC championship. Coach, what do you suggest to those young guys who want to get into coaching? And what can they do to better their chances to end up as a grad assistant or volunteer coach or something like that?
Man, I was willing to work for free. And I worked for free. Before I worked for Coach Cole, man, I was the dorm director at Trinity Valley. I made $900 a month on a 10-month deal. Once I paid my car note and insurance, it wasn't much left. And so, but I knew that there was a calling on my life. Before then, I worked at Kingsville for just room and board. And so nowadays, everybody say they want to coach, but they want to coach where they want to coach and make what they want to make, right? If you want to coach, the first person that need to invest in something in you is you. You need to invest in you. And you come tell me at Prairie View A&M that you want to work for free, and I know somebody that you know can verify you ain't gonna screw the deal up, man, we might have something for you. Now, I ain't got nothing now. So whoever watching this, I filled all spots. We got all our volunteer coaches. I don't have anything now, but we hired a volunteer coach this past year, simply because he knew the right folks and he worked it, right? And so I would tell people, if you want to coach. But then when you get a coaching job, coach well there. And don't try to make it yours. Be a part of the program. And make sure the head coach is getting what they need. There's a verse that says, if you have not been faithful to that which is of another man's, what constitutes that you should get some of your own? And so I quit telling people what scripture it is, and I know exactly what scripture it is, because I want you to Google it and find out for yourself. And so if you can be faithful to that which is of that head coaches, then you can get some of your own one day. But what happens is we try to get it and be on TV and be coaching for the pictures. Let's make sure we're coaching for the right reason. It's about the players. It's about growing them. And then do a really good job where you are. Help the team win. And then you'll be able to get some opportunities like the guys that I had. Man, our guys get calls all the time. And have gotten calls since we've been together, man. And so I would challenge them on that. I think we've got to do a better job of preparing our coaches. And so we have an organization called the Minority Coaches Advancement Association, where we do mock interviews with coaches throughout the summer to help get them ready for interviews in that January, February time. And so that's kind of our contribution to it. But man, if anybody needs anything in coaching, wants to get in, feel free to call me. I'm gonna tell you the truth. And people know how to get my number, Rob. It's one of those deals. It's amazing. I say, hey man, don't give out my number, and then they say, you ain't get this from me, Mr. Campbell. Here goes his number. You ain't get this from me, and it's all good, man. It's all good, because ultimately we want to give back what's given so much to us.
Hey, well, Coach.
But Rocky, one thing. I would be remiss, Coach. What I would love for, because of your insight, as you know, there was a meeting in Washington D.C.
Yeah.
That the president convened, and only one HBC representative was there, was Charlie Ward.
Yep.
And clearly our best interests were not discussed. I would love, Coach, to get you, a couple other coaches, and us have that discussion.
Yep.
For us, NIL, revenue share, transfer portal, and things like that. Because I think, Coach, what they have to do on the Power 5 level is their thing. What we have to do at an FCS level and an HBCU level, I think we need to have our own conversation that we can take forward and put it to the powers that be. And Coach, I hope you be.
You got the 7:30 game. I don't have a 7:30 game.
So what do you think about that, Coach?
Yeah, no, I believe, man. I think that would be good because, like you said, our fight is not their fight. And so we got to make sure that we're able to deal with the things that we got to deal with and be able to bring our people to the table at our different institutions and help really put that on there.
Hey, this guy had to crash the party, even though he's officiating. We usually don't let officials on here, Coach.
Hey,
He got on fake stripes, Coach. He got on fake stripes.
I normally talk crazy to officials, but that's my boy.
What's going on, Coach, man?
How you doing, Coach?
I tell you what, man, I'm so hey guys, he got me. When I was a head coach, I had a couple billboards and shit, but I never went and visited one of the best athletes ever in America. and big old billboard going across the back with mountains and stuff.
Hey.
I text him. I said, Coach, you got me.
You say you got me.
He definitely is a guy, man. But I wanted to make sure I call in and let you know I'm out here, and I see a lot of talent. It's a lot of talent out here. Matter of fact, we got a quarterback out of Florida. I mean, out of California. I'm sitting right here with his dad, and
y'all go get him for me. He at Iowa West from JC, man. 6'5", 220.
I was just about to ask you, how old is he?
Caleb Fisher, 6'5", 220, Iowa West.
Hey, I'm glad you said he had a junior college.
Hey, he don't recruit no 18-year-old.
Hey,
No. He 19, man. He 19.
That's
He'll
it.
be 20 in May.
Oh, that's when we gonna really call him. We like 20.
Go get him. Somerville, they better go get him.
No, man. But I think that was great, man. I know, like you said, it wasn't necessarily about picking up things. It's more about the business part of the game, and who's better to talk to a guy that came into a HBCU and really got it turned around, off the field. And I thought that was a very, very smart move from you. And I ain't gonna put my predictions in this early, but you're gonna be tough to beat.
Well, that's what we hoping for.
Hey, Coach Cole, I'll tell you one thing, Coach. When we had a poll when this show first started, and 70% thought he wasn't gonna win it. He talked so good, Coach. By the end of the show, we up to 65% think he is gonna win it. So he not only changing lives, he changing minds. You hear me?
No.
Hey, yeah, but hey, he been in singing class too, Coach Campbell. So when he sing, they going back to Atlanta. Everybody gonna be tuned in.
Yeah, you better believe it.
That's it, man. No, man. But no, Coach, good seeing you, Coach. We gotta get you down here, man.
And Ken, I can't say enough, man. I appreciate you, giving us this opportunity, man, to share that with you. And I think it's not just it's impressive, to our conference. I think it's a big thing. I think you inventing the wheel, in black college football, man. And I can't say enough about it. I knew you was going where you was going. It don't surprise me. One day I know I hate to lose you in our conference, but you sure are a shining light.
I appreciate it, Coach. Appreciate that, man.
Well,
Coach,
look,
if you hadn't hired me, if you hadn't hired me, I wouldn't have a shot, Coach.
Oh shit! Hey, it turned out to be the best thing I ever done, huh?
That's right.
Now he can go get him, Coach. Hey, he the one started introducing me to Facebook, and I'm like, where you getting these kids from? Instagram and all on the computer. I wasn't used to that. He would get them and I would close.
Yeah. That's how it went.
Hey, look, this one I'm about to go get it.
Hey, they too young.
Yeah, man, we about to go get it, man. About to finish up. Again, man, appreciate it. Guys, hey, don't let him get out there without asking the hard question. Press him now.
No. Hey, we've been on him, Coach. We've been on him. We about to let him go.
All right, I appreciate it, man.
All right. Hey, Coach Cole is our guy, man. I felt like he wasn't gonna let this end without giving us a call, man. Because he,
that's my dude,
Coach. And this is no joke. And Mr. Campbell can attest to this. He told us when Texas Southern had a job open, they messed up by not hiring you. He said that. But then when Prairie View hired you, he said they're gonna win the SWAC. And then when he went down there to visit you I want to say it was in the spring around
June. Yeah, he came in June.
He was even more convinced y'all were going to SWAC. So, Coach, that's he believed in you. Hey, and I'll say this, Coach. If it was one person that was hurt,
I know.
Hurt because of the outcome of the game in Atlanta, Coach Cole, hey, Coach, you could have swore he was on the sideline and that was going on his record. You know what I mean? Because he was distraught. He was ready to go to the room and get under the cover, Coach. I'm like, no, you told we going to the cigar bar. So,
That's it. No, that's my guy, man. Coach. I don't think Coach understand how much of what we do now we got from him. And we put our own spin on it, man. But it's me and Coach Colbert. We always talk about what we were doing in 2010. We're doing a lot of that now. I've just been fortunate to be around good coaches and be able to take what I like and didn't like and help build this program, man. But Coach gave me an opportunity when he didn't have to. And so I'm always grateful. I just showed up on him, Rock. What the boys say, pull up, I just pulled up. I came in there with some kind of suit on, man, one of them Steve Harvey off the racks. He had to show me how to get my suit tailored, man. And here's what people don't know. Man, Coach bought me about 10 suits over time, man. And really, the reason why I go to the tailor now is because of what Coach Cole taught me. And so it was more than just a football deal.
Absolutely, Coach. Hey, Coach, you're a great guy yourself. It was a privilege for us to have dinner with you after the Celebration Bowl, man, and it was a treat just to be. I know it was difficult for everybody in that moment, but somehow we figured out a way to have a good time, even there having dinner, man. I always remember that, and thank you for the invite and having dinner with me and Mr. Campbell. Mr. Campbell, anything you got for him before you get out of here?
I just wanted the Prairie View people to know. I told you, Coach Jackson, my guy. I tell you, so if you ever give me an award, you better make sure it's a good one. Because see, I got Coach Jackson on speed dial. See, so don't play with my name no more. Don't play with my name.
Mr. Campbell, a donating member.
Thank you.
I got an email with his name on it.
What can we donate, Coach? What's the donate site so I can put that link on there?
It's pvpanthers.com and you click on the Excellence Fund.
Right now.
Yeah,
pvpanthers.com. I'm gonna post it up.
Yeah,
and make sure we get you. Hey, Coach, thank you so much for your time. You've been
appreciate y'all.
Oh wait, Coach, one thing. Oh, see you in Tallahassee in December. See you in Tallahassee.
I knew you wasn't gonna let me make it on that one. Hey, listen. Whether it's Houston or whether it's Tallahassee, man, if we're playing FAMU in December, that's right where we both want to be.
Yes,
and
sir.
So I'll take it. I'll take it. But Mr. Campbell, we're going to fly y'all in the hobby this time, man. We're going to get you squared away. Get you squared away right and nice.
Not hobby.
Yeah, we'll get you in the hobby. But I appreciate y'all, man. Thank you for the platform and the time, and look forward to talking to y'all as we get close to the season too, man.
Hey, for sure, Coach.
Hey,
Coach, send me your schedule because you know we want to do something big with the Prairie View program, man. And send me your spring schedule.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Figure out something.
I will. All right, man. Good night to y'all.
Thank you, Coach.
And that was the head coach of the Prairie View A&M Panthers, SWAC champions. Whether you like it or not, they are the reigning SWAC champions, and ain't nothing nobody can do about it. Ain't nothing nobody. Hey, as a SWAC historian, Mr. Campbell, I just want to say this. I guess they had Willie Simmons, Coach. Has there been a more impactful coach at Prairie View and A&M as Coach Jackson has been?
Well, you know, listen, they have won a championship. Like I said, like they said back in 2009, that was a good run with that coach. But again, this is a new decade, right? And for what they're building, and I like what Coach said. This is what my point was. You saw, again, they have won the West before. Now they get over the hump and they get to the Celebration Bowl. And it's all about building, man. And what Coach Jackson's just special. He's a special person. And I think that's the most important thing. He's a special person. So for me, you know, to see what he's building, why I'm excited, you know, again, while we joke around, and again, like I'm teasing with my Prairie View folks, stuff like that. But I wanted them to understand, of course, man, I have so much respect for that program. And my point of it is where they're at right now, is what they're building. And I'm super excited about it. And for me, like I tell you, as a person that loves the SWAC, loves the MEAC, loves all HBCU football, I just want us to have great coaches, Rocky. That's all I want. Because we have great coaches, we'll have great football teams, and we'll have great football being played.
Oh, yeah, man. Hey, Mr. Campbell, this is a great show. I guess not many people had anything to do tonight. I know here in Texas, in Central Texas, it's raining cats and dogs out there. So, hey, you know, maybe not many people in the street. We've had a great audience tonight, man. You guys could be anywhere in the world. You could be watching anything, but you're right here with us, man, and we most certainly appreciate it. You got anything before I let them go, Mr. Campbell?
I do, man. You know, hey, listen, I've seen the people. Hey, man, listen, we're going to have T.C. Taylor on. We're going to have Van Malone on. We're going to have Chennis Berry on. You just saw us bring in Quinn Great, man. Listen to HBCU Coaches Corner, bro. We're going to have the folks on. But tomorrow, on this channel, Off-School channel, hey, man, it's me and Zoe Phillips sipping on Sundays. And we'll be talking about all the good things that's going on in the HBC world, talking about Michael Vick, talking about what happened up there in D.C. Hey, man, talking about the SWAC basketball tournament, Rocky, in Atlanta. We got people that are laid out. I see some interesting matchups that people are going to be excited about, man. So we're going to talk about all that tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern, sipping on Sundays on the Rocky.
And you know what I'm saying?
Off-Script channel.
You know what I'm happy about this year? When we had Coach Dawn on in the middle of her streak, after our interview, she still ain't lost. Because I was so worried that we was gonna jinx her like we did Trey Oliver that time. Remember?
Oh man, listen, man, it ain't no. It's no.
We had Trey Oliver on, but right before the Howard game, and he got beat to sleep.
Hey man, listen, some things just happen. We good luck on here, man, and we bring it to the people, man. So like you said, I really appreciate everybody. Why even to the Primate, Colorado, Buffalo folks that caused a lot of heck and havoc in the chat. We glad that you here too. We glad you here too.
So we had a lot of Buffalo folks in here.
Oh man, look, they came on in, man. They came on in, bro. So you know they had to defend it. They had to defend it.
And for y'all that's here, I'm a Prime guy. I love Coach Prime. I like him as a man. I appreciate him as a father. I'm a fan of his as a coach. So I'm a Prime guy. But I try to keep it down the middle as much as my heart will let me. You know what I mean? And the fact of the matter is somebody took issue is that when I said that they kind of, at the end of the seasons, they've kind of tapered off their performance. And that's just the reality. Go look at the two seasons they had. Down the stretch, they let some games go that I think they should have won. But with that being said, I just wanted people to know that I am a big Coach Prime fan. And so if y'all characterize me as a hater, please don't.
No, they were talking about me, Rocky, and they were talking about when I said he hadn't won, and I was talking about at Colorado, and my point still stands. You can learn from a great coach like Tremaine Jackson, who has won on all levels, and that was my point. Yeah. I'll stand on that. That ain't no hate on anybody and anything like that. Well, I want Deion to win the Big 12. I want him to win because he's got those black coordinators, and I hope they have something to prove. So I'm super excited to see what they do with those black coordinators. But either way, the bottom line is he was able to sit down with a great HBCU football coach. That's our guy, Tremaine Jackson.
Hey man, this has been a really good week for us. We had Quinn Gray on earlier this week. He had a sensational interview. We had Coach on a special edition of HBCU Coaches Corner, and we've had the SWAC championship coach. Matter of fact, let's say this, because I think Quinn Gray did win the SIAC, didn't he? And went a couple rounds deep in the playoffs.
Yeah,
so it's been a championship week, ain't it?
Come on, man. Listen, this is HBCU Coaches Corner. Let's be clear. You don't get this from any other channel. You don't get this from, other people do interview, but they don't interview them like we do. And we get them first and we get them the best.
Hey, and I put a link to for those people who want to donate to the Prairie View Athletic Fund. I'll paste it in there one more time. That's why I'm kind of dragging out this goodbye so that we can give you guys time.
And let me say this to my Prairie View folks, because y'all know I'm big time supporters of what you guys do. Like I say, hey, you know, I gotta say, I know a beautiful Prairie View supporter. She put that money down. She bought them tables during the classic up there in Dallas. Hey man, listen, Coach, let y'all know something. He said my boys and them down at FAMU raised $300,000. So Prairie View, that's a challenge for y'all. Y'all make all that money. Y'all are affluent alums. I'm gonna challenge y'all. Go raise $300,000 for your coach. Go raise it. Shut me up. Go raise it for your coach. Because that's what this thing is all about. You see what Jack State doing? Them boys trying to go get $1 million down there. We getting 300. We trying to go get $1 million. So Prairie View, this is a chance. So don't be clipping my clips. Go open them checkbooks up. Because that's what the coach said. Because I already did it.
All right, well, hey, Mr. Campbell said it. He said he sent out a challenge to all of you Prairie View alumni. Don't just talk noise, wear paraphernalia, and go to classics and homecoming. Put some money on the wood and make the program good.
There you go. There it
all
is.
Right, we out, Mr. Campbell. Much love, everybody, and we out.
See y'all.